Yeah. It's live streaming right now, so they can take the link right off of our WhatsApp. Yeah, it's a live stream. It's right on our YouTube page, so you can actually. Sam, can you post the live stream on the WhatsApp? Can you post a link on the WhatsApp?
I heard you from over there.
Oh, you did? Oh, just post it on the wait 5 minutes. We'll just wait like 4 or 5 more minutes. Okay. Before we get here.
I emailed you a list.
You did? Okay.
Assalamu alaikum, Fakhti. Ahlan wa sahlan, welcome back.
Sheikh Jafar will give it like 5 more minutes before we get because people did confirm, but they're not here yet. Do you want to just announce it's around 5 minutes?
Assalamu alaikum. We'll be starting shortly in a few minutes. If you could find your way to your seat, that would be appreciated.
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you everyone for coming here. Thank you for everyone that's joining on live stream as well. I know this is something that we've all been waiting for and anticipating for a very long time. Sheikh Jafar, inshallah, will be talking about how we got to this point and the vision for this school. So, first of all, I believe everyone in this room has filled the applications. If you haven't filled out an application, or if you're here to get information on how to fill one out, if you go to our website for the masjid, there is a tab for the preschool. Please make sure if you have not submitted an application for your child, you submit one now. Also, if you're intending on enroll your child in the future, please make sure you send an email to the preschool group so that way they have your information and can reach out to you once enrollment opens up for the future as well. So, Bismillah, we'll start with Sheikh Jafar is going to first introduce our vision for the school and the expectations for the students as well as for the parents, and the expectations to have from us as well for entering the school. We also have Dr. Layla Shatara here visiting us. She's going to be the principal for our school. So Sister Layla has a very long background, and I'll summarize what we've done here for her, which is she's a distinguished education professional with a PhD in educational leadership. Currently, she was leading Nur Ul-Iman School in New Jersey. She has successfully improved school operations and boosted enrollment. Her multifaceted career includes roles such as principal, educational consultant, academic coordinator, with significant contributions in academia and research. Sister Layla's experience spans management of educational institutions, professional development, curriculum design, and strategic planning. Sister Layla, the reason we chose her is, and Sheikh Jafar will discuss this as well, we reached out to numerous consultants and people that are professionals in this field to make sure that the path that we're taking and the vision that we have is properly implemented into the classroom for the benefit of the students and the families as well, and obviously our community. We also have another consultant that we've hired, and his main role will be director of our curriculum. So this curriculum is starting from scratch, from within this masjid here, from within the school. The reason we're doing that is for it to be in line with the vision that we have for this school. And we've hired Brother Yahya, who you'll hear from. Unfortunately, he's not here, he's in Dubai, but you will hear from him. We have a video from him to kind of give his background and talk about what goals he has in order to get this curriculum implemented into the classroom. So what I'll do is I'll allow Sheikh Jafar to talk about the vision, and Sister Layla will talk about her roles and what she'll be doing in order to help make this school successful. And then we'll hear from Brother Yahya, and we'll open it up for Q&A from all of you. Jazakallah.
جزاك الله خير إحسان. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين. والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. That's it? Come on, stronger than that. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. بارك الله فيكم. Does anybody know when did we start thinking, planning to start the center that we are in right now? Can anybody give me a date? Maybe the year? 20 years ago? Almost. After 9/11, few months after that, we submitted the application to the town with full drawings to get the permission to start building the center. Now, I'm not going to go through the story, but because that requires maybe a couple hours. It's a very interesting story. How did we get the permit to start the building of the center over here? Why I'm mentioning this? I'm mentioning this so then everybody knows that the idea of the school did not start yesterday. The idea of the school started about 25 years ago. Prior, when we were doing the drawings, to be submitted to the town and get the permission to have first phase, to have the masjid, second phase, to have the school, third phase, to have the gymnasium. So it took us a while to have enough money to complete the masjid. So 2014, alhamdulillah, we finished the masjid and we moved in. Now the second phase. It was a dream to complete the whole center, but it was not easy. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was always there. From beginning to the end. So some people who have, alhamdulillah, goodwill, good vision, and they care about education. They said, building the school is on us. Don't worry. So we get the full amount to complete the school. So 3 years ago, we started building the school. The school now is almost ready to start in this September, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. I'm mentioning this because we did not wait for the school to start, and we did not wait for the school to be completed. As a matter of fact, we started putting things together because we know the school will be there bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. So therefore, we start reaching out to as many people as possible, people who have expertise, like Sister Layla. We visited many schools, public schools, private schools, Islamic schools and non-Islamic schools. We dug deep in their curriculums. We asked many questions, and for our own satisfaction, because we have been around for a long time. All my children went to school over here in the US. They are born over here. Now, I'm talking about their own children. My grandchildren are candidates to be in the school. And the point is, I know public school is not an answer. Is not really the aim that will satisfy our goal of what kind of education I would like my children to have. It is a struggle. It's a struggle on many facets. Struggle of identity, struggle of character, struggle of faith. And I'm sure many of you, the reason that you are here today is, I'm sure it's because of that. So public school is not the answer. Private schools, yes. My son went to a private school. One of my children went to a private school. Was I satisfied? No, I was not satisfied. It's less of a problem than a public school, but it is not an answer. It does not give you, as a good Muslim who cares about the education of your children and the future of your children, it does not give you the satisfaction that you are looking for. How about Islamic schools? And I'm sure Sister Layla can answer that question much better than I do. Islamic schools are good answer, but they are struggling. They are struggling in many ways. They are struggling with the curriculum because we don't have a curriculum that is good enough for the aim of our goal that we would like our children to have. We don't. Anyone who tells you there is such a curriculum, such a person doesn't know what he or she is talking about. And therefore, you go to Islamic schools and you find struggling character, issues, problems in many ways. So still, Islamic school is a good answer, but it is not good enough. And we looked everywhere. And we came to the following conclusion. After talking to these experts, after visitations and collecting information, we came to the following conclusion, which shaped the vision that we think our school should have. Number one, we know that having a school is a must. For any community that respects itself must have a school in their plan. That is granted. That's why we are having a school. So after we did the research, after we came to the following conviction. For Muslim children to succeed as Muslims in this life and in the life to come, they need an education that must help maintain their Muslim identity. So that's number one. Number one characteristics to judge a school and whether that school is for your child, I believe, number one, I would like this school to really work to maintain the Muslim identity of my child. Number two, building character. I would like this school to build the character of my child. It's not enough just to teach them how to read and write. It's not enough just to give them information. It's not enough even to give them tools to succeed in materialistic life. It's not enough. So we need character building. Number three, we need in this school to develop their skills. Children are born with potential success in many fields. Intellectually, psychologically, emotionally, socially, physically. Children are born with that kind of ability. We would like this school who will be able to tap to each one of them and develop these skills. In many cases, my dear brothers and sisters, you know that some of the potential abilities in the children that we don't pay attention to them, they end up being killed in their childhood and they don't grow. They don't grow because we didn't pay attention to them, because we did not provide them with a proper atmosphere for those skills to grow. You may end up wanting your child to become a doctor, but maybe your child is born with such a potential to become an author, to become a literature person, to become a historian, to become something else. But then you kill the other abilities. How can we find a school that will be able to see all of them and give the child the atmosphere to grow in all these abilities, or in the abilities where he or she has strength? So that's number three, developing skills. Strengthen their faith and spirituality. This is a key point where we would like this school to really work hard. During this age, many of us don't know this, but what will decide the future of your children is actually those few years in the beginning, from the birth all the way to 5 years old. Many people don't pay attention to this time and start paying attention to teaching their children later on when they grow up, while maybe the damage is already done. Don't wait. Your child, actually, you can start educating your child before birth. Many people don't know that. And actually, Islamically, I can speak to you with a proof, Islamically, that actually it starts before birth. So, yes, developing and strengthening the faith of our children and their spirituality from the beginning. Master necessary knowledge. And I'm talking about all knowledge, materialistic and otherwise. We would like this school to be strong enough, well equipped to really help the child master the necessary knowledge and put it in perspective. Put it in perspective. There is so much knowledge available, but some knowledge maybe is a waste of time. Some knowledge is necessary. Who is going to help that child navigate to get the necessary knowledge in his or her life? Have a purpose in life. That's the next point. Many people go wrong in their life and have many problems because they are not taught from the beginning what is the purpose of their life. And they keep going back and forth, and they keep going left and right, not knowing what is really the purpose in their life. So what we would like to do, inshallah, in this school, to make sure that the child knows his or her purpose in life. And what is this purpose? What is this purpose? Is to serve Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This purpose is to serve Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Many people think of this, what is this? Yes, someone may think the purpose is to become a doctor, to become a lawyer, to become an engineer, to become a businessman or a businesswoman, to be so rich in your life. All that may happen, but that may not serve the main purpose. All those are tools, but the main purpose, to be really successful in this life and in the next one, is to be a good servant of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made us as His representatives on earth to make sure that we take care of this earth in the right way. وَإِذْ قَالَ رَبُّكَ لِلْمَلَائِكَةِ إِنِّي جَاعِلٌ فِي الْأَرْضِ خَلِيفَةً. So that Khalifa on earth is this child who's just being born. How can we help him or her to be that proper Khalifa? So to achieve all this, which is the vision, we need our integrated model. It is an integrated model. It's not just a book, and it's not just an instrument. It's not just a teacher who graduated with a diploma. No, it's a whole integrated program, where we call it a program of tarbiyah. It is not just education. It's much more than education. It is tarbiyah. And the word tarbiyah is very comprehensive. That includes all what we have been talking about. The curriculum, the teachers, the environment of the classroom, the family. Everyone who is in touch with that child, from near or far, actually is included in this tarbiyah program. So it is a tarbiyah program, tarbiyah model, where the child is not only taught how to read and write, but instill in him or her love of Allah, love of the Rasul alayhi salatu wasalam, the love of the creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and how to relate to this creation, how to relate with others in the proper way, as taught in our deen, al-Islam. To make him or her proud of being a Muslim. This is something that we are seeing in our own children, in our youth. They are struggling with their Muslim identity. They are struggling with their self-esteem as Muslims. So we would like to make sure our aim, our purpose during this progress, this process of this school, is to instill in them their pride of being Muslims, their self-esteem in being Muslims, and to be so confident that there is nothing that they cannot achieve. There is so much they can do, and they should be able to do it bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. So, to achieve this, we must have an integrated curriculum, as I said, that takes in consideration all of the above and in a tarbiyah approach. Therefore, everything and everyone around the child must be steering towards the same goal. As I said, in the classroom and everything in the classroom, books, furniture, toys, schedule. Everything is done in such a way that actually is to reach the goal that's being said in this vision, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. Family environment. You know, we all think, yeah, I like this, but as a family, am I ready to be part of this? How much really I am willing to sacrifice to make sure that I adopt this tarbiyah program? How much I'm really willing to commit to be a partner in this? This is to be tested. This is to be tested. That's why this may be difficult for some. And we would like to make sure that the selection is done in a proper way to assure success of this process. In short, my dear brothers and sisters, these are the values and the characteristics of Al-Hidaya School that we aim to achieve, and we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to enable us. We are really burning inside. Some of us who have been through this for years, we have sat down and talked about it, and we are dissatisfied with so much of the products around us. But it's really a burning desire that if we really put this cornerstone for this kind of school, our aim is maybe 50 years from now, maybe 100 years from now, maybe this school will be a college. Maybe this school will be a university. Maybe this school will be a fundamental cornerstone in the whole society to teach proper education. If you really read some of the critics to what's going on in education in the whole world, but particularly in the Western world, there is a lot of criticism where education is deviating. Education became a tool to make money. It's no more education to bring the best human being. And because of the whole entire civilization and where it's going, so education became a tool. We would like to bring it back to where it's supposed to be. It is ilm, it is knowledge, it is upbringing, it's tarbiyah, to bring al-rajulu salih wal-mar'atu salihah, the righteous man and the righteous woman, hopefully who will be good servants of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So, having said that, hopefully this is the vision that we would like for our school, and I hope, inshallah ta'ala, for those of you who will be able to join and be part of this school, hopefully, inshallah, there will be a good addition and good power, inshallah, for this school to move forward. Jazakumullahu khairan wa barakallahu fikum. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
I actually just put up another slide right now. This academic year, we launched our preschool in the building across the street, the blue building that we have where the weekend school is. So there are some parents in here and also children that were a part of this preschool. Alhamdulillah, we had 9 students in there, mixture of 3 and 4 years old, and a wonderful staff, alhamdulillah. Sister Arij is here as part of the staff. She was admin. We had Sister Rhoda as our assistant teacher and Sister Javeria as the main teacher for the classroom. So in this classroom, because as Sheikh Jafar just discussed, it's very important for us to have a curriculum that is very specific on the values that we're looking to instill in our kids. What we did is we took the Pearson curriculum, which would give them their basics of the English, science, math, and we implemented Islamic values into everything that they did in that classroom. So the teachers basically took that curriculum and customized it based on the values and the vision that we have. And alhamdulillah, the parents that have been in that classroom can testify, and you can see the testimonials on our website as well too, of how they felt throughout this year. So if you're one of the parents that have applied and you have questions or you have any sort of concerns as to what what you'll see in your children, this could be something that could be a good, a good point for you to look on. So I'm just going to change the order a little bit. I'm going to actually play the video of Brother Yahya first. Again, he's in Dubai. The video's a little bit dark because he just it was close to his bedtime when he recorded it. So.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh. Good evening to everyone at the Al-Hidaya Center in Latham, New York. My name is Yahya Van Roy, and I'm joining you this evening from Dubai in the UAE. I apologize I cannot be there in person. It was my intention, but I do hope to be present in the community in August, inshallah. So I'm very excited to share that I will be joining the education team as the Director of Curriculum. And in this role, I'll be working very closely with Dr. Layla and the rest of the team members to design, to develop, and to implement a curriculum that is aligned to the mission and vision of Al-Hidaya School, inshallah. A little bit about myself. I'm originally from the land of 10,000 lakes in Minnesota. I grew up between Minnesota and Wisconsin. After graduation, I spent a number of years abroad and had a chance to work in the field of education in 7 different countries. I then went on to complete a master's in international education with a concentration in curriculum development and supervision. Currently, I serve as the upper elementary principal at Next Generation School in Dubai, and I also serve as the director of the Islamic Pedagogy Program. So I look forward to bringing all of these skills and experience to the Al-Hidaya project, and I am very optimistic about the work ahead and the community that will be forming, inshallah. Now, I did have a chance to visit Al-Hidaya this past December, and it was a truly blessed visit. I look forward to meeting many of you that I met then again, and of course meeting new members when I join the team in August, inshallah. So the task before us indeed is a very important one, and it is a very noble one, and that is to revive the best of our Islamic tradition and education. I believe it was this past Friday that Sheikh Jafar spoke about Al-Andalus and the importance of remembering our Islamic civilization and the greatness of what was achieved. And the same is true for education. Within our tradition, we have a wealth of resources and transformative practices that are waiting to be implemented and revived. And so I look forward to working with all of you and being part of that effort to make Islamic education transformative again, and to raise a generation of youth who have strong academic, moral, and spiritual tools to thrive in our contemporary times, inshallah. I look forward to seeing you all in August. Have a blessed gathering this weekend. Fi amanallah wa assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh.
Sister Layla.
Assalamu alaikum. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. As-salatu was-salamu ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wa hlul 'uqdatan min lisani yafqahu qawli. Thank you so much for inviting me to the community. I did meet a few of you last time I was here. I think I'm going to begin with giving you a little bit of background just so that you're aware of where I'm coming from, and then I'll talk very briefly about our vision. And I think, Imam Jafar went into detail in that, and so I want to give you a chance to ask as many questions as you have. I have been in education for 31 years, both public education, Islamic education, at very different levels, teacher, administrator, trainer. My work with Islamic schools is not a job or a task. It is very much a life passion for me. I grew up in this country in a community where we didn't have a masjid or a school. There was a musalla where everybody went to on Friday. And I remember our entire generation of immigrant children really didn't know anything about Islam growing up. I learned about Islam as an adult. Sorry. This is something very personal that I'm passionate about, because I remember when I learned about Islam wondering why I didn't know. So when I started to learn about Islam, I was, I think, 18 and a half. I remember very distinctly. Not that I grew up in a Muslim community, but very immigrant families who didn't really know that they had to teach their children, right? Our families came over thinking that they grew up knowing about Islam because that's the environment they grew up in, and they didn't know that they had to teach us, that we're now in a different country where everything was actually the opposite of what Islam teaches. And I remember feeling like I want everybody I know to know what I just learned. I'm not gonna cry, Brother Asad. I apologize.
Just in case.
It is something I'm really passionate about, and the reason I was actually on my way to retirement when I accepted the responsibility, the amana to do this work, because I am excited about the prospect of what we're doing here, because it is different. The opportunity to start something where we're going to teach everything from the Muslim worldview and not copy and paste what a public school does or what other schools do, and then try to, inject Islamic components. No, we're starting from the foundation where everything we do is based on our purpose for existence. The reason Allah created us, to worship Him. And what does that worship look like? What does that mean? And making sure that our children grow up in a constant state of connection to their Creator. So that excitement for me, and honestly, it's not just about this community. My vision is much bigger than that. We want to start here, but we want this to be a model school that others replicate, that others can see this is the way it should be, and they can model what we've done here. And I think the prospects of what we're doing and how we're going to do it, inshallah, is going to be something that is transformative and very special. I don't know what else I need to talk about. I think we talked a lot about the mission. Brother Yahya and I have worked together on several projects. He has an amazing vision. He's very talented, mashallah. And I think my first meeting with Imam Yassin was a couple of years ago when he approached me to ask me questions. The questions he asked indicated to me that this was a person who truly understood and had a vision of what education meant. And I don't think, I didn't know anything about this community, honestly. I didn't know, I had connections to it that I didn't know I had. But just from that initial meeting with him, I could see that there was something very special that was going to be happening here. And I have traveled around the world and been in different schools in different countries, from Australia to the UAE to Canada to different parts of this country. And we do have a lot of Islamic schools in this country. Alhamdulillah, they do a good job, but there are so many missing pieces in what we provide. And this is an opportunity to really make it a truly holistic education, inshallah. Should we open the floor for questions? Is there anything else?
I just wanted to provide the update on the building actually, because there's still some components that are left. Inshallah, our plan is to open by September, which would be the first Thursday after Labor Day, I believe it is. Our CO, or certificate of occupancy, is expected for end of July, inshallah. So that is when our construction is to be finished. Our furnish, all the equipment and the furniture that we've ordered is all custom based on the vision that we're looking to fulfill. That should be completed by August as well, inshallah. So if everything goes well, that is our plan. We are intending on opening a preschool for 3-year-old, preschool for 4-year-old, and a kindergarten for 5-year-old. In order for our vision one of the things to make sure our vision is successful is for us to go gradually and make sure our plan is to go 1 grade at a time. So inshallah, next year we'll start 1st grade and so on and so forth. So at this point, we wanted to open it up for any questions you have.
I think my question is mostly about how many kids, because we could not get our little one in last year. So I'm very anxious about that. So we want to make sure that he's enrolled and how many kids are going to be. So if you can.
So actually, I'll
Maybe Sister Leila will be much better positioned to ask about the pedagogy and the educational part of it. But we would like to have small classrooms, because throughout this vision, one thing that we would like to emphasize is quality and not quantity. I think especially as a foundation, we'd like to make sure that our school will be strong. Our foundation is strong. We'd like to take enough time to make sure what we are doing is complete, because as you see, the curriculum, we already hired somebody who's going to work on the curriculum. Sister Leila is working with us. So it's a work in progress. It's going to take some time, but what will help us is hopefully trying to have small classrooms, I think a small number of students, and grow gradually. Hopefully that, but maybe being very specific about how many children should be in the classroom, I think maybe Sister Leila can comment on that.
I think small size classroom are critical, but not just because of the students. The teachers are the most important people in the school, because what they're imparting on students is what they're getting. So teacher training and teacher development is also really important. So we have to start slowly and gradually, because the staff in the school, the teachers, all of us have to be learning and developing our skills for what we're looking for in the vision, right? This is something we're embarking on that's new, in developing the curriculum and making sure that the teachers are aligned to it, and the culture that we're creating in the school and in the community is done slowly. It's developing people so that we can help nurture children. So we're starting small for that reason. And I think we're limiting class size to maybe 15 to 17 students per class. Okay, and I actually looking at the classroom size, they're a little bit smaller than, so because you need the space. If we're looking at discovery and exploration as a way of learning, the space in the classroom matters, and what you set up and the design really matters. So that space is important, and it can only accommodate a small group of students. Pre-K 3, Pre-K 4, and kindergarten, 3, 4, and 5-year-olds. An assistant. Yes.
What is the ratio for the teacher to students?
It'll probably be 7 to 1 or 6 to 1. If we're talking about 2 adults in each room. Yes.
Especially at that young age, you need.
Yes. We're only going to have 3 grades, 3 levels. 3-year-olds, 4-year-olds, and 5-year-olds. That's it. And then when the kindergarten becomes 1st grade, we'll add another grade, and so each year we'll add another grade, inshallah. December 1st. You have to, yeah. So you have to be 3 by December 1st, 4 by December 1st, so that you can be 5 by December 1st. I think, is that a state? Or it's different for each state, yeah. Any questions, comments? Yes?
Assalamu alaikum. I know this year you guys started the smaller classroom and have obviously had a lot of curriculum development. What would the difference be in adding on more things next year? Or are there specific things you'll be adding on next year that will be different than this year? Things like that. When we talk to parents who are enrolled or who have kids enrolled currently, how different will things be?
They actually started this year with a Pearson curriculum and then integrated. We're starting a new curriculum that we're actually writing as we go along. And we're actually looking, Brother Yahya and I have met with a series of other schools who have different types of programs that are more Muslim worldview centered. And we're pulling kind of resources from all of those schools.
I hope the idea is clear as I try to convey in the principles of that vision, and also in what Sister Leila has mentioned, is that I think this is something unique. That's why Sister Leila said we would like, hopefully, if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala helps us, we would like this to be a model. If we succeed to make this as a model, and we will be able to create that curriculum, although it's going to take a long time for that curriculum to be finished, and it will not be finished because there is always a need for renewal, there is always a need for improvement. It's an ongoing work with the curriculum. But at least if we are able to see this point, that to have such a curriculum and such a tarbiyah program, which as far as I know, I don't see it in schools. We read about it in books, especially in the old days, where actually the child used to have a special relationship with the teacher. It's not just a body and you are dealing with that body. No, the teacher is dealing with the spirit. He's dealing with the spirit of the child. And the teacher is actually the role model for that child. That kind of relationship, and the relationship with the family, the relationship with the entire environment. To tell you the truth, that's a model, we read about it, but I don't see it in real life. And that's our aim. And that's not easy to realize. So when you have a smaller class, you have better chance. You have few students, you have better chance for the teacher to relate to. You have also few families who will be involved, and you will be creating that environment. It may be later on as the years go by, then maybe the number can be enlarged. But in the beginning, I think it's very critical that we have small classrooms, we have fewer numbers, so then we are on top of what we need to do.
Can I just touch on a point? Although this is a small number of students, and maybe directly a small number of families, this school and this transformative educational process involves every single one of you. It involves every one of your homes. The only way any one of us can raise our children in the environment that they need to be in is that if we're all doing it collectively. Because their suhbah, their friendships, the people they interact with, the people they engage with, the adults they see impact their tarbiyah. So we're all in this together, and a school is not a classroom or a building in a group of people. A school is a community and everyone involved in it. And one of the most successful schools I've actually seen is the one that I'm in now, which is Nur al-Iman School, and it's 30 years old. I've been there for 4 years, and the reason I joined it, actually because I fell in love with the community, and I saw that the children who grew up in this school were not raised by their parents and just taught by their teachers. They were raised by the community. All their friends' parents were their parents. Everybody was khala, everybody was auntie, everybody was uncle, and everybody kept an eye on each other's children. So you watched, like you can see that through decades of these alumni, they're very attached to each other and very attached to the community, because that's what it takes to raise children. And the wider that net that you create to raise them in, the more protected they are. Their fitra stays closer to its natural state, and the layers of protection within the community are established. So each of you plays a role in back on, I think, yeah. I don't know if that was a message. But it's really like, I don't want anyone to feel like, oh, if my child's not in a school, then I'm not part of this, and I'm not involved in this. No, everybody, like, when the school is established and the teachers are learning and everyone involved in the school is constantly learning, that's also what the community is doing. And you already have that system in place in this community, where everybody's, there are courses for everyone. There's a learning for youth and young kids and the men and the women. So that needs to continue. It just, now you have another source of, and if you think about it, what we want to do is, like, how much of our day do we actually spend connected to our Creator as adults? When we do things, are we thinking of Allah first? We don't. We weren't raised that way. We weren't conditioned that way, right? And there's the ayah about the purpose of why we were created, to worship Allah. Worship is not just salah and siyam and reading Quran. It's that everything we do is connected to our purpose of existence, which is Allah, like that connection to Allah. So what we want to see in this school is, we want to make sure that we're teaching these children from a very early age that when we look at the plants, we know Allah created the plant. When I open the book, Allah created the person who learned how to do this. And so that constant reminder, they become conditioned in a way that we weren't. That we have a generation that's better than us. That's in that constant state of connection that we don't have, that we struggle with as adults. So that's, I think for me, that's probably the biggest difference in what we're hoping to see. And then this group of children will be the people who have a positive impact on us, because they'll constantly remind us of where we're supposed to be focused on.
Anybody else? Let's take one brother or one sister. Yeah.
Assalamu alaikum. So I'm someone who's worked at different public schools before, and even in Islamic school. And I feel like if parents really knew the full scope of how hard it is for their youth in these schools, that would encourage them to put their kids in a public school. Because we're not just talking about like one or two bad habits. Like, a public school environment can actually, like, and I've seen this, completely remove Islam from a kid. So inshallah, I hope that more parents become aware of what's going on in public schools, and that encourages them to put their kid in an Islamic school, because, we don't want to be asked by Allah why Islam ended in your family after you. So that's just my comment. It wasn't a question.
Assalamu alaikum. Just would like to know the requirements to register our kids. What are the requirements? And if there are transportations, and what are the fees and financial aid, all these services, please.
So the question was transportation and fees, correct? So, and registration, okay. So registration, I'll start with that first. If you go right on our website, Al-Hidaya's website, there's a tab for preschool, and admissions is right there within that tab. And the sister sitting in front of you is the one that's collecting the admissions. Her name is Sister Arij. So you can get with her as well. If anyone hasn't registered, Sister Arij is in the front row and she can direct you how to do so. In terms of transportation, we're currently not associated with the district, so there is no transportation that is provided by the district. So it will be drop off and pick up from parents themselves. In terms of fees, before I get into the fees, one of the things that actually I forgot to talk about is our goal is to keep this school totally separate from the masjid. Financially, the school will be able to be self-sustaining. So it's going to be a separate entity. The budget for the school is separate from the masjid. So in terms of fees, what we did is the preschool 3-year-old is a half-day program. The preschool 4-year-old and the kindergarten is a full-day program. So the fees for the 3-year-old, I'll go monthly. It will be $350 a month for the preschool 3. For preschool 4 and for kindergarten, inshallah, it will be $600 a month is our plan for the tuition. We are working on financial aid. We don't have a structure yet for it because this is our first year. So we are working on financial aid for those who need it. And that will be something that can be brought up during the admission process. So if that is something that you need, please bring that to the admin's attention. And inshallah, we'll figure that out.
I do want to make a comment about financial aid. So the philosophy of the school is that the finances will not be a reason that anyone's turned away. So anyone who wants to enroll and has gets the criteria and goes through the interview process and is accepted, the financial aspect is something that the school will support with through a financial assistance program, inshallah. I think age aligning with the mission. Like, it's really important that families who bring their children to the school believe in the mission, in the vision, in the mission that we have, and will support that. And so that when you're creating a school culture, the parents have to be on the same page as you are. So that's one of the things. And then the just like criteria, I guess, that to make sure that we're meeting also public school compliance standards as well, like with age and immunizations, things like that. And I don't, we'll have to look into that.
And also keep in mind, this is a small school. We are just starting, so there are limitations in terms of if the child needs certain specific things that we may not be able to have that. And at least in the beginning, we cannot commit ourselves to certain things that we will not be able to deliver. No.
Assalamu alaikum. Today we talk about the one step for the new school, and also this masjid also have other programs that's full times, like the HIF programs. So any plan, because you mentioned here, to integrate this school together with the HIF programs to provide those come to the HIF programs full times, also get the better educations, on top of the HIF programs.
Jazakallah khair. Actually, this is a good point. We would like the rest of the community to know that if your child could not be in the school for one reason or the other, that doesn't mean you cannot benefit from the rest of the program. We are very much aware that the majority of the people in the community, actually their children are going to the public school. We are aware of that. And we know it is a fact. In every community, maybe 95% or more of the children are going to public school. That's why we have a whole program. We have a committee that is in touch with the school district where we are, and we meet with them, we invite them over here, we meet with the teachers, we provide them even workshops to teach them about about how to be aware of certain things of the Muslim culture, of the Muslim faith. And we are very, very close with the school district where we are. You know, we invited the superintendent, we invite the school principal, we invite some of the teachers, especially social studies teachers. We provide them with certain trainings, we gave them information, because we know for sure that the majority of our students are going to public school. Therefore, we would like the public school to change their attitude and to change whatever is possible. So then our children will not be victims. However, we know that's not the real answer. The real answer for the future is to create Muslim leadership. And that is really our aim. Through these children that hopefully will be able to be in this school, we are aiming as men and women in the future that hopefully we provide them with that grassroots training that will be in their character, in their personality, that they will grow up. We may not have them for the whole school process. We may have them only for elementary, but we believe that's the foundation. If they get good foundation, they will go later on. Even they go to public school, but they will be different. And that's the case. That has been experienced. So we know we are not providing for everyone. But we are doing our best by providing programs and help for those people who need that help. Whether they are going to public schools, so we are doing our best to reach to the public schools around us. Those who are coming to after-school programs, we have more than 400 students. Those of you who don't know, we have more than 400 students for children from 4 years old and up who are coming to Quran classes, coming to Islamic studies classes in the weekend, and during the day we have a full-time hifz program where we had 15 students, and next year is going to be probably 30 or 40 students. So we have also the youth seminary, and we have the adult seminary. So there are all kind of variety of programs that our children, our youth can benefit from. So please make sure your child is committed or is benefiting from one of them. Jazakumullah khair.
I think there was one more question on the brother side.
Assalamu alaikum. Just a small question about when interviews will be held, because the email that we received when you apply said there will be interviews for the parents that they apply. Is this going to happen soon, or and it's going to be based on what? Jazakallah khair, brother.
Did you already submit your application?
Yeah, I did. I mean,
Okay.
I did through the school, and we're still waiting for emails.
Okay. We did reach out to everyone. We must have maybe had a number difference or something, but Sister Reach is here. She'll schedule you as soon as we're done.
Inshallah. Jazakallah khair.
I mean, we are talking a lot about what school is going to do for everybody. Does the school has thought about or planned that what the parents can do for the school? How can we volunteer or do something else? You know, because I think it seems like a pretty big project. Alhamdulillah, it seems like it's going to be very meaningful for the community, for the children, and we have been excited about it since the last year, actually. So anything, or what can we do as parents? Thank you.
Yes, I'll meet with you after.
Thank you, brother. That's essential, and schooling is a partnership, absolutely. And we will set up, inshallah, different ways for parents to be involved and support the school and be an integral part of the education of their children. Inshallah, we'll need a website, a portal, all of that good stuff come up in, inshallah. But we're gonna get your name down, so you're gonna be one of the first people we call, inshallah.
We have one more question on the brother side, but before that, do we have any sisters that have questions? Okay, we'll go to the brother's question.
Assalamu alaikum. First of all, I would like to thank you, the school administration and the administration of this masjid, to work and host and manage this school, inshallah. May Allah give all the success to it. And second thing, I just want to say that Imam Jafar in himself is an institution. May Allah reward you, Imam Jafar. So anybody who, I think, in this community who's looking forward to be leaders, they should first take tarbiyah from Imam Jafar. May Allah reward you. So my actual question was, as I understand that you were starting with preschool, kindergarten, and then it will be a recurring upgrade to the next grades, right? So if there is somebody who is right now in first grade or second grade, they already missed the bus for this school to join. Because I'm thinking, I don't know, you might correct me if I'm wrong. So if there is a first grade, the opportunity for the first grade admissions will be for the kids who have already completed in this school the kindergarten and the preschool. So if somebody is in the public school, if they are in first grade and second grade, if the first grade is started here, they may not be able to get a chance here. Is that something that I thought about?
That's the question. Do I have to answer that? All right. So it's a really good question, and it's a difficult one. It's not easy because we want to be able to provide everything for everybody. I wish we could. We don't have the human resources to do it. The plan is to actually raise the children in the school, right, to bring them up. We have not discussed at any point, would we accept children like in different grades later on. I'm going to be very honest with you. I know we're doing this very early on, but the school I'm currently in, we're at 600 students right now. We actually have about 340 waiting, right? And we're looking into, we need another campus. But we made a very conscious decision years ago not to accept high school students because they've already, even if they were coming from other Islamic schools. And then we made the decision not to accept middle school students. And then this past year, we made the decision not to accept anyone above 10 years old because we could easily see the dynamics change. And we were so, and we have large classes, we have 2 sections. So when we're talking about this new school and an opportunity to do things differently, we're really trying to do something different. And if we want to start with the children at their very earliest age, 3, 4, 5, and actually raise them in this environment. And so that all I can tell you is if you have a first grader, do you have anybody younger?
No, I'm just asking it.
Yeah, in general, my advice would be have a younger child. Go ahead and plan it. Then that younger child can get in and they can teach their older sibling. That's my solution for those of you who missed the cutoff. But I think it becomes a challenge when you start to introduce, like, what, do we introduce first graders or second graders, and where do we stop? And I think if we stay very focused, it just makes it easier for us to manage the tarbiyah as we begin this new school. So right now, the vision is that we would start like at 3 and 4 years old and accept kids in the 3, 4, 5 age group, and then they would have to kind of move up in the school. Yes, does that make sense?
Yes, definitely. Jazakallah khair, Sister Layla, and thank you, Brother Zuhur, for those kind words that I'm not sure whether I really fit in them, but may Allah reward you for thinking that way of me. Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu is reported that when he was praised, he said, اللهم اغفر لي ما لا يعلمون واجعلني خيرا مما يقولون. Oh Allah, forgive that which they don't know and make me better than what they say about me. However, just to add few words to what Sister Layla has said, this is a matter that we have thought about it deeply and for years, and we came to that conclusion. For us to start with a small school, having this aim of tarbiyah as is being expressed, it requires not only it's something we can think about it. No, it requires that the children need to be brought up in our atmosphere from early age. This is the requirement. And I don't think I mean, I'm only one person who have a voice, but I really will push that we will not accept children from coming from other schools. I really would like to raise children of our own school from day one. I think that's the only way we can control the environment and push and work hard towards the aim that we think that's the way it should be. And that's where we need the families to be in line of the vision. If the family is not in line with the vision, it's not going to work. It's very simple. So from that perspective, we are not saying that child is not good. We are not saying that family is not good. No, 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 we are not saying that. But all what we are saying is we need this to really achieve the goal that we would like to achieve. That's all what we are saying. And I hope, inshallah, our brothers and sisters will understand and believe in our approach. Jazakumullah khair.
Okay, so if there's no further questions, inshallah, we'll conclude. But again, if you have not registered or if you have not received any sort of communication in regards to interviews, please see myself or Sister Arij, and we'll help coordinate that for you. Did you have something?
I just would like to make a request that you keep the school in this masjid in your dua. Like, we need your dua more than anything. Inshallah, Allah will guide us and provide us with the wisdom and the sincerity to serve Him and raise these generations of children that, inshallah, will come back and teach us more of what we need to know. Ameen. Jazakumullah khair.
All right, we are going to make dua of khitam and inshallah keep in touch. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نسأل سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نستغفرك ونتوب إليك سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين جزاكم الله خيرا وبارك الله فيكم. الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح